Hello. Hello and welcome to my Flosstube. My name is Aneta and I'm the owner of Cross-Stitch Vienna, a Gothic cross-stitch pattern store. Nice to see you again. If you're here for the first time, welcome. I am doing an update because it's my day off and also a national holiday, Labor Day. And I have time and I thought, you know what, some things have been happening recently with my cross stitch, so I can tell you a little bit about that. So, without droning on about insignificant things, let's get to it. I recently came back from Katowice. I was there for 5 days. I was attending a folk culture festival. And Silesia, if you've ever been to Poland or read about it, is a cradle of folklore and interesting traditions that are still celebrated to this day. And I was also very pleased to find 2 cross-stitch stores that I visited while there, just to check them out and be able to tell you if they are worth visiting. Both are quite small, but they are very well stocked. So I've added them to the world map of cross-stitch stores that you can access through my website. And together with the last 2 additions, we now are at 134 stores that are mostly in Europe. Most of them I've looked up and researched properly to be able to tell you that they are indeed able to supply you with cross-stitch supplies, such as threads or needles or Aida fabric and embroidery hoops. So every time I am looking for a store, I'm just like checking every single photo on Google Maps, and I'm checking their website to see what they are stocking to be able to really recommend places where you can buy supplies in person, not online. So actually, to this point, we are 2 months away from summer holidays. It's 1st of May, so people travel. People travel during summer. This is a fact. And if you have a favorite cross-stitch store that you would like to add to the map, a physical cross-stitch store, not online, just a physical brick and mortar place that people can go to and get cross-stitch supplies and whatnot, please add it to the map. If you want, you can get a credit with a link in the listing when I add your submission to the map. Even if the link leads to your cross-stitch store, that's also an option. So you get some free promotion. The map was already seen almost well over, actually now I'm looking at well over 4,000 times since it was published, and it will only increase because I intend to really maintain this map. It's a good resource even for me whenever I'm going places. So yeah, please contribute, help others find physical cross-stitch stores so they can survive and continue to grace us with their presence and availability of beautiful cross-stitch supplies. And if you contribute many stores, for example, I don't know, like 5 or 10, if you become a regular contributor, I will list you as a contributor on my website. So that means that you get a backlink, which is extremely valuable, a backlink from a domain that's not spam, that has high domain authority, and your visibility in search engines, results pages, or even generative search engines will increase because backlinks and referencing is important for these indexing services. So you will get a backlink for free and you will help other cross-stitchers. So yeah, please contribute if you want. If not, I'll just continue maintaining the map on my own. It gives me great joy to plan trips to different cross-stitch stores when I am traveling. The next trip that I plan to take Well, there are two options actually. So I was thinking about going to Bratislava because it's not far. I actually used to live in Bratislava, in case you didn't know. I don't know, it's just a fun fact. And I plan to go to their cross-stitch stores and see what's there. There are some that are selling quite a lot of cross-stitch kits. So I'm still thinking about doing a full coverage cross-stitch chart, and I would actually prefer it to come from a kit rather than buy a digital chart and then and then put the kit together myself. So if I find something, I will definitely buy it. If I find something that I like. In Budapest there were some options, but it's just like, I don't know, it seems like such a big decision right now, so I have not settled on anything. But if I find something in Bratislava, who knows? And the second trip that I plan to take could be to Krakow. And Krakow has many needlework supply stores, which I used to visit with my dad on his supplies run. So if you watch some of my previous videos, I think I talked about it in my first Flosstube. My parents used to own a seamstress workshop, so my dad used to go to Krakow because they had these warehouses, these magazines and stores where you could buy in bulk thread and fabric and needles, and not for sewing machines, but also they had lots of embroidery items. So yeah, I have a list of stores that I want to visit, Pasmanterias as well, and I'm very excited about that. So that will be my next big update to the map. So contribute if you have some physical cross-stitch stores that you would like other people to visit and enjoy, please add them, and you also can add a link to your store, website, or social media account, I don't know, whatever. So, recent finishes. Oh, actually, there's something else that I wanted to share with you. So my order from Tela Artis arrived. So these are the fluffy embroidery threads, cross-stitch threads that I ordered. Is that making a lot of sound? I ordered from Tela Artis, whom I spotted at HH Cologne. And they are super fluffy. Obviously this is polyester. No, sorry, I'm lying. This is nylon. 16 meters, 100% nylon, and they will add some textures to an upcoming chart that I'm planning to release before Halloween. And yes, it will have demon cats. So if you like the demon cat series, you can get ready for that. I don't think there has been a demon cat chart for a while. Well, there will be. So I bought black, I bought red, gray, and white. And the reason I bought the white thread, the fluffy white thread, it's because I want to design a chart inspired by one of my favorite books that we had at home when I was a child. It was a book of Russian fairy tales, Alonushka, and it's such a beautiful book. It's the images, the illustrations are so gorgeous, and they are just right up the dark folklore genre that I am exploring right now. And one of the stories in the Alonushka book is about Śnieżynka, a snow child, where a pair of older people made a little girl out of snow because they really wanted to have a daughter. And the illustration for that particular tale is just one of the pictures that really stayed with me for some reason. And yeah, I would like to design a chart to show this beautiful story, which doesn't end so beautifully, but you know, that's fairy tales for you. Right, so Tela Artis, they are so lovely. So I've ordered my my threads, and they were sent from Ukraine. So the payment had to be arranged manually, because you know the payment systems are a little bit complicated. But once I got the link and paid, everything was just really straightforward. I could track my order. Just really lovely people. I was very happy that I could buy something new and exciting, and also support a business that's in Ukraine right now. So going into my recent finishes, I have several. One is one of the Easter eggs, Dark Folklore Easter eggs, that I am chipping away at. I did not manage to finish all 9 before Easter. So this is, I think this is the 5th one that I did. Let me look at my pattern keeper. So I've done 1, 2, 3. Oh, I actually only done 4. So I have 5 more to go. And this was one of the 3 black Easter eggs with just a motif in the middle. So I have now 5 ornamental Easter eggs to do, which I am very excited about. I do love this design. If I can be appreciative of my own skill, I look forward to finishing them and then framing them using the cutout template, which I now listed on my website. If you're a customer, you can get it for free. So I will frame them, and then next Easter I will create an Easter egg tree decoration with some birch tree branches, which I wanted to do this year, but I did not manage to complete all 9 of these designs. So I'm chipping away at this project. The second finish is my Slavic blood design, which I designed and stitched spontaneously. I used some of the beads that I bought at London Stitch Fest because they fit very well with the design, and I plan to hang it today actually. I have a list of things to do today, and one of them is to hang 2 new images on the wall behind me. One of them being this design, and the other one is a print that I bought in London. And finally, my experimental keepsake boxes, which I will show you now. So I designed emblems for these keepsake boxes. So these the different shaped emblems that go on top of the keepsake boxes. There are 12 in total. They were inspired by my visit to Victorian and Albert's Museum, because they had a section with pill boxes and these little keepsake boxes. So ornamental keepsake boxes for, like, I don't know, like keeping some mementos of people that we loved or passed away. That's a very Victorian thing to do. And I designed the emblems with the intentions of stitching some of creating these easy to make boxes. So the prototype, so to speak, was this one, and this particular box. So this is a matchbox. It was very difficult to buy matchboxes in Vienna for some reason. I finally found them at Libro. They had some cardboard matchboxes without any design on top, which made it easier to craft with. So the first the prototype, I stitched the emblem in Black Ida, and then I stitched the decorations on both sides. So I had to measure it, how best to put it together, and then stitch the edges. But making it was a little bit too complex for my liking. Plus, creating the inside, I was not very happy with how the fabric fit, and it was an experiment, which I thought, you know, it's just not worth repeating unless someone is really determined. And then I found these papier-mâché cardboard boxes at Libro as well, and I decided just to stitch the emblems in plastic canvas and then stick them on top of the boxes that I decorated with old newspaper and book pages and some fabric, which I had a floral fabric that I bought at Austrian Kilt Festival last year. So stitched the emblem. This is 14 count plastic canvas, and then stuck it on top of the box with hot glue. So the insides are also laid out with the fabric, and I put some of the yellowed out paper on the inside of the lid. This is a second design with a different emblem. This is one of the matchboxes. So I also, the design that you can buy in my store, it has an additional page of these side ornaments that you can put on the side of these boxes. This is a regular matchbox, like I mentioned, that I wrapped in paper. We have one more here with some fabric inside. And actually a small box in addition to the other ones that I've designed, because I just had some extra paper and also the fabric, and I thought this now completes the set nicely. So if you like the designs, they are on the website, and the chart comes with a very simple guide on how to go about creating this type of boxes. If you are feeling more adventurous and you want to make them, if you want to stitch the design into regular fabric and then wrap a cardboard box or whatever you have handy, that's also an option. I just didn't really want to do the tutorial because like I said, I felt it was very complex and I didn't want to bother with that. True story. Current WIPs. You know what? I've just realized I did not check if I'm even recording. I am! Current WIP. My current WIP is my recent design of Likho. Likho is a personification of bad luck and misfortune, and it is an entity that I wouldn't say it's very commonly referred to in Poland, but there are some sayings. For example, do licha, which is a very, like, I don't know, like now I consider it a very elegant way of swearing, comparing to the repertoire of swear words that we have in Poland. Do licha means essentially damn, or licho nie śpi, licho does not sleep, or if someone is knocking on your door, someone that you did not expect. My grandma used to say, kogo to licho niesie, who is being carried in by licho. So this was kind of like an expression of exasperation that she didn't really want a visitor, and the visitor is potentially not a good someone that you would want to host at your home. which obviously was never the case because, you know, it's the countryside. It's usually your relatives or your neighbor knows the tax collectors. I don't know. So these artifacts are still present in our language. But Likho, the story of Likho, the folklore of Likho, it's not explored as much. Unless you are in deep countryside in Poland, because then this belief in Likho, an entity that is a wandering entity, and it doesn't sleep, it doesn't rest, it just goes around and attaches itself to people. There's nothing that triggers Likho. It simply is. It has no agenda. It has no personal vendetta against people. Its existence, it simply relates to the fact that misfortune happens in the world, and Likho, as the embodiment of misfortune and bad luck, naturally occurs because nature is neither good nor evil. It just is. Likho, as an embodiment of bad luck and misfortune, wanders around, and if it decides to stay around your house or your person, you can expect a lot of bad things to be happening to you. There's nothing that you can use to protect yourself from Likho. Some of the sources that I reviewed say so, but there are some rituals or traditions that you can use to make it go away faster. One of them is something that I learned during the Slavic festival. This is not something that that I discovered in the books or articles that I read on the topic, which are not that many, to be honest with you. There are way more academic articles about Baba Yaga or even Rusalka than about Likho, but some of the Russian resources that I found reveal some helpful ways of dealing with Likho. So during the Slavic folk festival, one of the lectures was about protecting your household, and the speaker said that her grandma used to take a pinch of black salt. Black salt, now I learn, is also called witch's salt, and it's salt that is mixed with charred wood or coal or herbs that were burned, and that gives it its black color, and that's used in many protective rituals because black salt symbolizes something that came from earth, so earth element usually is related to protection. So you take a pinch of black salt with your left hand and toss it over your right shoulders, and that hopefully gets rid of Likho. Other sources mention tricking Likho, outsmarting it, outrunning it, passing it on to another person, which is a bit mean, but there's just no other way to get rid of it, because Likho needs to go and find another victim. It doesn't just exist on its own. It does seek to attach itself to a person, to a living person, to a human. In one of the Russian sources, it was an excerpt from a book, a Russian book about myths and legends and folklore. You could blind Likho, you could blind its one eye, which is brutal, but desperate time, desperate measures, and this way you can escape. Speaking of one eye, the way that Likho is frequently portrayed is of an emaciated woman with one eye. The fact that it had one eye or 6 fingers or was unnaturally tall relates to the fact that Likho used to mean uneven, odd. So the uneven number or the odd features symbolize the fact that Likho is different, and that's how you can recognize it. You can't protect yourself from it, but you can avoid it to a certain degree. Unless it stands in front of your house, then it's kind of difficult. It would also be portrayed as a goblin. It's neither female nor male. It just is, like I mentioned before. Other things that I learned about Likho is when it haunts you, when it's around you, it can either cause issues within your household, so break the steps of your ladders, or tie the tails of your cats or horses, so it also pesters livestock. Oh, another way to get rid of Likho comes from Mark Hapon's recollection of what made him go into the art of Rodnovery. So Mark Hapon is an American Polish artist. Maybe he's Polish. He does live in America and has for some time. And he portrays some of these folk tales and legends. He's very famous for that. His illustrations are truly beautiful. I linked to his illustrations from my article about Likho on my website. So he said that his grandma used to put a mirror in the stables with the goal of scaring Likho away. So mirror used to be used in divination, and it's considered a tool that reflects evil, so it returns the bad charm to whoever cast it, and also it's a gateway to the other world, and for that reason, even in ancient times, it was used to protect yourself from bad energy. So that's another way of how you could get rid of Likho. My portrayer of Likho is, as you can see, the one-eyed old woman whose skinny appearance can be gleaned from the way she's dressed. She is currently leaving one of the households that she was occupying on her way to cause issues somewhere else. And I also added some decorative charms that are hanging around her persona, but as you now learned, nothing can really protect you from Likho before it appears. You can get rid of it once it's there, but there's really no other way to deter it from visiting in the first place. I'm currently stitching it, but the pattern is already on the website because I just could not wait, and I reviewed it for mistakes and whether the color combination worked, and I am enjoying it, to be honest with you. I'm stitching it on linen that I dyed myself just recently, and I think it just, the color palette really works. I don't normally stitch with blue. It's a color combination. I mean, I'm trying to be more adventurous with the colors that I am choosing for my designs, also because I have all of the colors now and I would like to use them up as much as possible and not just stick to grays and reds and black and white. So this was an experiment, another experiment in my series of dark folklore designs where I'm using a new palette. I cut up one of my DMC cards. I have two. I bought the second one from Anya because she's stocking them. And it's so much easier to actually look for interesting color combinations. So if you are ever wondering if you should cut up your DMC thread card, I do recommend it. It helps mixing and matching colors. The second WIP is Dalmatow's World Tree. And if you have read my article about X, you know that this design can actually be found on the Wikipedia page about the Slavic cosmic myths. So the world tree is one of the myths regarding the creation of the world according to the Slavic folklore, and the poem that I found on the Wikipedia page. In the beginning of the world, when there wasn't really a world as we know it now, 2 pigeons were sitting in an oak tree and they were discussing how the world should be created. So this design was shown on the Wikipedia page, and then I looked into it and who Dolmatow was, because Dolmatow tree was the name of the file. In fact, it's Dalmatow who shared the design, which I now turn into a pattern, and I will put on my website in case someone is unwilling or uninterested in stitching the design as it is portrayed on the Wikipedia page. So Dalmatow shared this pattern, which was somewhere in his extensive collection of ancient examples of folk embroidery from the Moscow, Novgorod, and Tver and Yaroslav provinces in Russia. So this particular design was meant for satin with color, to be stitched on satin with colored silk, for upholstered furniture and or on canvas, for decorating windows and doors, in the Russian tower of the Royal Danish Park Fredensborg in 1889. And I looked for the resource that this chart was taken from. I couldn't find it online. Maybe someone else will have luck in this regard, but it's been uploaded to Wikimedia Commons as a public domain resource. And since it's available there, I just I traced it as well as I could, and created a PDF that will be shared for free if you would like to download it. I am stitching it on waste canvas on a white fabric with some floral design. I don't think you can see it here because it's very, very gentle, the print on the fabric, and I plan to make a makatka out of it, so a piece of cloth with some stitched design to hang on the wall, as makatki used to be shown in Polish household, also in my great-grandfather's house in Limanowa. Yeah, that's where he used to live. So he had a very old traditional house, and makatki were used to decorate the walls and also to share some wisdom. And there's no particular wisdom to share here beside the fact that the world was once created by 2 pigeons. It's a beautiful story. So I'm currently translating the Carpathian Carol, which I found in the book Religia Słowian, Slavic religion, and I'm translating it to English because I also would like to stitch it. I think it would be a very nice addition to this design. So that's what I'm working on. I started on it when I was in Poland and was slowly chipping away at it, but the Likho design is taking most of my time because it's quite large. I think it's over 9,000 stitches. But I'm more than 50% in already. This is all that I wanted to share with you. If you are a customer of Cross Stitch Vienna, just a short note that the newsletter that normally goes out on the 1st of each month did not go out today because I was tired, so I didn't really do anything. I have a lot of updates to do on the website, including updates to the ultimate list of free cross stitch patterns, which honestly has grown so long. It's become a bit of a mess right now, so I'm thinking how best to update it, but I have no idea right now. If you do, let me know. I mean, it would be nice if it was filterable, but right now I don't really have the functionality for that on my website, and I don't want to put it on Airtable or in Google Sheets, because then it's not on my website anymore, and it's yet another software to use, and it becomes complicated. So I don't know, I'm thinking about it, but I have so many new charts that I've just discovered when I was looking at the Folklore of Likho. I found a lot of different sources, which I would love to share with you. So I'm working on this now, and I hope to send the newsletter on Monday. And that's about it. That's all that's happening in the world of cross-stitch Vienna. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would appreciate if you could comment or leave a like. This really helps me find new audience on YouTube, and also lets me know that you like what I do, and that motivates me to do more. I really love feedback. What can I say? I am off to drink my coffee and do some cleaning and maybe stitching. And I hope to see you around on my social media or in the Facebook group, which you can join by stitching your way into it. All the details are in the Community Quests tab, which is available to all customers of Cross Stitch Vienna. Wishing you a lovely weekend, and yeah, speak to you soon. Bye.